I hope you are all enjoying the performances so far. Amazed by some of the talent that we have here in Seattle. You're all probably wondering, what is FabLanka and what are we trying to do? What we're trying to do is give the people of Sri Lanka the ability and the resources to make almost anything. And to demonstrate this capability, we are making this complicated part right here using this machine called a 3D printer. The exact part that we're making is this part right here. And I hope you take some time during dinner to come and take a closer look to see the 3D printer itself and the part that we're making. Now, 3D printing is not limited to small parts like this. In fact, parts as complicated as prosthetics and even cars have been manufactured using this technology.
So next, I'm going to talk about what FabLanka. FabLanka is not just about 3D printing, and we are trying to use almost all the digital manufacturing technologies so that we can make almost anything. Now with FabLanka, we plan to contribute to Sri Lanka in these areas like employment, manufacturing, capabilities to innovate, and then technology transfer, and education, and also social engagement. So our plan is to establish digital manufacturing laboratories called Fab Labs. So these labs are called Fab Labs, and we have one of our team members from Atlanta, Georgia, who sent us a video, and he's going to explain in that video about the Fab Lab concept. So let's watch the video in our next slide. Fab Labs in the world today, especially in Europe and also in India and in some African countries. So our aim is to have a similar Fab Lab in Sri Lanka. Actually, several Fab Labs. So we'll talk about that as we go on. Then next slide is again, this is another team member from Sri Lanka. And so they, in Sri Lanka, our Sri Lankan team, they assembled a 3D printer right in Sri Lanka, and this is the picture of that. And then he sent us a video with explaining another 3D design and manufacturing, but unfortunately that's not working, so I'm going to move on with our presentation. And then, so the next slide is we have already done some community outreach work. This is again our another FabLanka team member, and recently we had a demonstration in a school, in a high school actually. So there was a great enthusiasm from the students, and we have received many other requests from several other schools to do similar events in Sri Lanka. So we are looking forward. And actually, the video that her name is Pubudu Senarata, and the video that she sent had all that information, but unfortunately will not be able to present it to you. And then the next slide is about again another FabLanka team member in Sri Lanka is talking about why it is important for Sri Lanka, why Fab Labs are important in Sri Lanka. So one thing he's talking in the video is about youth unemployment. And now, in Sri Lanka, youth unemployment is very high, about 40%. And then again, 20% of employed youth are still underemployed. So by introducing technologies like this digital manufacturing, we can, bring those numbers down, of course. Then, in addition to that, there are a lot of small-scale manufacturers in Sri Lanka and they don't have effective ways of learning new technology. So again, FabLabs can bridge the gap there, and then again we can help towards the innovation of new products and services in Sri Lanka through FabLabs.
So our plan is divided into 3 phases. Phase 1 is to provide education to interested groups. So as you saw, we have already begun this phase. Phase 2 is to establish a pilot Fab Lab in a selected location in Sri Lanka. And this Fab Lab will serve as an innovation center for the community. Phase 3 is to establish a Fab Lab in each district, and these will serve as a network of Fab Labs. So our future plan is to provide education and make ourselves be able to make any consumer products.
With that, I'm going to talk about why we are doing a project like this. So this is a chart from a famous book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Some of you might have read that book. And now here you see the dependent here. Like when we are born, we are dependent on our parents and many other people. And then if you practice these habits that are shown here, the first one is take initiatives. And the second one is have defined goals. And then third one is prioritize your work, basically schedule and prioritize. Now if you practice those, then we can achieve something called our private goals. So our private goals are like graduating from the college or getting a job, or and then starting your own business or whatever that could be. So we can achieve those private goals by practicing these habits. Now when you do that, then you become independent, of course, right? And after you become independent, now if you stop there and just focus only on your private goals, then you will not be effective after some time. So that's why you need to move beyond this point and focus on some public goals. And our FabLanka project falls under these public goals. So this is where we are trying to achieve some goals through FabLanka that has more benefits to greater community. So now to achieve public goals, these are the other habits that we need to practice. Like the fourth one is like we have to think win-win when you do something like this, when you have a public project. And also we need to be respectful for everyone, because this is we are in the public domain, so we need to be respectful. And then the sixth one is we need to collaborate and get others' ideas, and when you come up with solutions or new ideas, we need to involve everyone and select the best solution or best idea or ideas. So that's the sixth habit. So when you do all that, then we can achieve any public goal. Actually, for example, this show today is a public goal. So because we got enormous help, and everyone came together, and it was sort of a win-win point, because everyone had the opportunity to engage, and finally you end up with very good self-satisfaction with a project like this and event like this. And then FabLanka project is similar to that. Actually, it's a great satisfaction when you achieve something through a project like this. So now, as you see here, now when we do all this, we have to be interdependent on many people. So for example, for this show, we were interdependent on many of you here. And that's how this event became a success. And now we expect to ask for a similar help for the future of FabLanka as well, and that's why in fact we are having this show here. So actually there is the 7 habit according to the book, that is, you have to practice these things, you have to practice all these things all the time, and then only you achieve your private goals and also public goals and be effective. Alright, so I'm going to.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can help achieve this public goal. You can join our team and be a member and contribute ideas and knowledge to help us achieve our goals. We have no group hierarchy and there are no membership fees, so all are treated equally. Earlier, we discussed our plan to establish a Fab Lab in Sri Lanka. But in order to do so, we need to raise funding through the way of grants. You can help us identify grant sources and help us write grant proposals. We also need volunteers in Sri Lanka to learn digital fabrication and also to contribute their time and knowledge to help us provide our services. We have partnered with a scholarship program called Pahansila. Pahansila has a pool of donors from all over the world who contribute financially to their scholarship fund. Through this fund, Pahansila is able to provide financial aid to students who are in need in Sri Lanka. So if there is a student or if there's an individual who is interested in learning digital fabrication but is unable to do so because of financial reasons, we can sponsor them through Pahansila. Now, we are also partnering with another similar organization called Educate Lanka to do something similar. We also need your help in spreading the word about Fab Labs and FabLanka amongst your friends here in Sri Lanka and all over the world through social media. And finally, of course, you can provide financial assistance to us as well. And you can be guaranteed that there is full accountability of your donation. So basically, what I'm saying is you can contribute anything, anytime, as an individual or as an organization to help us achieve our goals.
So in summary, FabLanka's goal is to harness the underutilized potential and creative energy of people in Sri Lanka. We are going to utilize emerging technologies like digital fabrication and the Internet of Things to achieve this goal. So with that, I would like to open the floor for any questions and discussions, and we would love to discuss or answer any comments, suggestions that you may have, and I can bring the microphone and then you can ask any questions, and we can discuss we can have some informal discussion about our efforts and any other ideas that you may have on our efforts.
Thank you, patient. Hello. I had a question for you. How long do you think it will take to establish the first Fab Lab?
Yeah, thank you Shiraz for that question. So the question, Shiraz's question was like, how long will it take to have the first Fab Lab? Actually, our current plan is that we will have the first Fab Lab in Sri Lanka by January of 2017. That is by the end of next year actually. But that all depends on how we can secure a grant. So we are aggressively working on writing some grant proposals. So if we are successful, of course, we will have by the end of the year. But if you are not successful, it may of course delay. But that the current plan is to have it by the end of 2016. Once again, thank you. Any other questions?
So a small question actually, it's like I'm not a tech person, so how can I contribute myself to this?
So in addition to the things that I mentioned earlier in my slide, there are many things that you can do even if you're a non-technical person to help FabLanka. FabLanka is not limited to just technical people. So imagine all of the things that go into making a successful organization. So everything from PR, public relations, to managing finances, to managing different projects, all of those things require people. And this is really a community involvement. And so you can help us on a wide spectrum of things. And even if you see us, you can ask us, hey, how is FabLanka doing? What are you guys up to these days? Even that will give us an impetus to, and maybe an inspiration to think about this and move this project along.
And even, I would like to add that even like negative comments are good because that way we know we are doing something bad, so we can correct. And also, if nothing is happening, at least say, oh, what's going on? So that way, at least we triggers some actions from our team here in US and also in Sri Lanka, and then also we are trying to build up the team around the world, like Australia, in Europe, and many other countries. So all of these people will get the encouragement, and also if you are doing something bad, then when you are talking about that helps. Right. So if you go to Facebook, through Facebook or some other like Twitter or even LinkedIn, so you can comment about our work or give in suggestions and so so the question was basically what do you get by involving? That's the question they asked. So yeah, actually when you involve in a project like this, you build a lot of leadership skills, and that's a plus for your job even. And because with the leadership you can either get promotions or do better in your job, in your current job, or you can get a new job or whatever you want to do. So that's one, because you are enhancing your skills through leadership. And also you learn new technologies, because although it seems like very high tech, it's very easy to learn. So by engaging, you can learn about these new things like the digital fabrication technology and Internet of Things and many other technologies that will be emerging in the future. So we will be focusing on all the good technologies that are coming up in the future, and then we are going to harness all that. So by enrolling with us as a member, you'll be kept up to date, because you practice these things with us and you help us, and that will keep us going, and also you gain new skills. And most of all, you get a great satisfaction if you are successful. If you are doing something good in Sri Lanka, you get a greater satisfaction, and that's more valuable than anything else. So those are some of the benefits you can think of. And of course, if we grow much bigger, there may be salaried positions as well, but then we don't have plans for that. But I'm just saying that it may be another benefit, of course.
One thing I'll add is, as a member, one thing that I didn't think about is speaking in front of a large group of people. That's a skill that seems pretty daunting, but you're forcing yourself to take challenges and do things outside of your comfort zone. So there's personal development,
exactly,
on some level too.
So if I have people that are in Sri Lanka or in another state that might be interested in, helping this cause, do they have to have any qualifications?
No, absolutely no qualifications. So that's the beauty of it, of course. So anybody who is interested, we don't care whether even he may not be able to read sometimes in Sri Lanka, but still, we'll be able to get those people involved. So that's we welcome anybody who would like to join, learn, and then contribute.
Thank you.
one more question. So this has been tested in other countries, right? So they have targeted other people in different sectors, I believe. How successful are they in delivering this technology to the people who are actually really needing it?
Yeah, again, thank you. Tilak, that's again a very valid question. So the question was like, how successful are the other fab labs that are being established in other countries? So yeah, there are many success stories. Like there was one story, one fab lab in Afghanistan recently, where it's a war-torn country, so they had a fab lab in a remote village, and with that fab lab, they had developed these Wi-Fi routers in the lab itself, so that they could distribute the internet connection to other villages through Wi-Fi. So that was one very good example. And then there was another country, I forgot the country, it is an African country,